Friends, we are at the Gwadar Port Authority, and port has been under discussion in media because of the Chinese involvement here, and this has been doing rounds just because it's being touted as a jewel of the crown in the entire CPEC project. So we are here to have a discussion with the chairman of the Gwadar Port Authority, Mr. Naseer Kashani, and we are very happy that he agreed to give us some time and update us on what has happened to the port and what is the status of its development and the future of real commercial operations. Why should people come here to invest when you look at the situation here? I mean, not only security but other logistical problems.
There are 4 or 5 reasons that the traders should do that. One is that Gwadar right now has got a stacking area of more than 132,000 square meter available to them, and we do not charge any demurrage charges. We also have the VBOX system in place for speedy clearance. We have got competitive handling charges. The handling charges can be compared to any country in the neighboring region, and even in Pakistan also you can compare. It's very competitive. We are always going to be on the lower side. We don't charge for the scanning the container. Number 3, if somebody asks us to store their cargo for 3 months, we allow that for free, and that is not available in the regional ports. We have already improved the infrastructure. You must have, while coming to the port, you must have seen on your left side, a lot of infrastructure has come up in the last, particularly 2 years, that is going to cater for the bank offices, commercial complexes, the seafarer center. It includes everything. Sheds, container storage area. We have a storage area for more than 600 containers can be stored at one point so the ecosystem is improving every time. We're trying to improve that. The logistical facilities are going to improve with time, because it's only that we generate the demand for the cargoes. The local demand has to be generated in order to bring in more trade and more investment. Thirdly, in the logistics, the biggest hurdle is trucking, which is not available here, which makes the investor, or rather the trader, get the trucks here in Gwadar and then move the cargo to a certain destination where they want to move it to. For example, they can take it to Afghanistan. Through Afghanistan, they can take it to the Central Asia, right? So we also have the interest from the Central Asian republics also. They're coming in. We had a Uzbekistan delegation also last week. Visited their deputy chairman, railways, was heading the delegation, and they're interested in having to set up off-dock terminal here in Gwadar. That is a new thing. A custom bonded area, particularly designated for the Central Asian republics, particularly like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. So there is a lot of interest as far as that is concerned.
Are the Chinese and Pakistani way of working, how the way the both bureaucracies work, been aligned in order to make it a smooth operation, particularly because this port is being hindered by a Chinese company?
I believe we're totally in sync, number one. The China Overseas Port Holding Company Limited, which is the concession holder, in partnership with the Gwadar Port Authority, we are a democracy, right? So we have our own bureaucracy, our own system of governance. We're trying our best to overcome all the difficulties which are there. Of course, there is always, there is a delay in certain matters. We try to resolve them, and if you talk to the Chinese yourself without my presence, they will tell you that we've been trying our level best. Whatever was not done in the last 14 years, we've been doing. We did it in less than 2 years. That goes to show, without saying it, they will appreciate the fact that all these rules and all these entire regulatory policy framework did not come about just like that. We had to put in a lot of efforts. And I've been running from the pillar to the post, and particularly between Karachi and Gwadar, I've traveled 100 times just to push everything very, very quickly. So that goes to show one thing, that we have done one part which was always missing and always a problem. From that perspective, they're quite satisfied now. So that goes to again show that we're really totally in sync. Secondly, I've been pushing them to bring in business, because this is their, as a concession holder, their forte, that they need to bring in the business and give, according to the business plan, they need to, particularly in these downtimes, they need to work harder. And that's what I've been doing.
There have been a perception that the port is exclusively for China, and that the free industrial zone is also exclusively for China.
I think the seeing is believing, and we are trying to make sure that the investors come here. We brief them regularly, and that is only going to come by time, I think, because we have been briefing, and pretty much everybody knows now that it's not primarily a Chinese project. It is Pakistan-China bilateral cooperation, of course, but it's open to investors from all over the world.
How much Afghan transit trade has gone through the Gwadar port?
Afghanistan transit trade is taking place, like last year we had 5 vessels, and the last one was in Jan 2021. It all depends how much the demand is. It's growing, but it's not up to that point yet because of the logistical, just like I mentioned. The trucks have to move from Karachi here to Gwadar, and then from here onwards. So it becomes a little expensive for the traders, but we're trying to make sure that we have the logistical facilities set up here very, very soon, so that we facilitate and remove one of the hurdles which is in the way. And that will be done very, very soon.
When do we expect basically the first product to roll out of the industrial zone set up at the Gwadar port, or just next to the Gwadar port?
I can't give you a timeline, but very, very soon, inshallah. Because we have 5 factories already completed their structures. They just get the machineries in. We already have a few ladies employed to make the garments, and there's a small industrial unit already working. They're taking orders also. It's a very small one, but already employed a few ladies from the local population. They've been doing a fantastic job. I visited yesterday. And then secondly, I think it will be a few months, not a year, of course. A few months, inshallah.
What is being done basically to provide skilled labor, particularly local skilled labor, to the industries being set up here? This is a big problem, I guess. The locals want jobs, but those jobs can't be provided if they are not skilled. So what is being done for that, for the skilled manpower, particularly from this region, from the Gwadar division or Gwadar district?
That is a very important point that you have just touched upon. I believe that even if we create, let's say 20,000 jobs, and if those jobs are for a particular skill set, and those skill set if not available in Gwadar, definitely the people from all over the country will try to take those jobs, and it will create further alienation and sort of disappointment in the local populace. So we've been trying to make sure that does not happen. So we're setting up a new Pak China Vocational Training Institute just for that. So that is about 50% completion. You can visit it. We have completed it by 50%, and it's going to be completed by December 2021. The primary purpose of that particular institute is to equip the local youth with the kind of skill sets which are going to be required in the upcoming industries. And that is going to go a long way, I think. Because today, if I advertise some posts, if the local population doesn't have the skills, we usually employ people from Karachi, from Islamabad, Lahore, and other places, and that fuels the kind of sense of deprivation which was already there. So we're trying our best to make sure that the local people get the jobs and get the benefit of CPAC. which was envisioned. We also have a Gwadar Institute of Technology working for the last few years. We also have a campus of Turbat University, but I think we need a state-of-the-art kind of an institute, which is, inshallah, will come about in the end of this year. We'll make sure that that is up and running.
Naseer Saab, there is another very important question. Do you think this Pak China Vocation Training Center is a late step?
I believe it's the right time. The reason being, the investment has yet to come. If we had done this like 3 years ago, and if we had produced about 10,000 students already, with the skill sets, and they have no jobs, that would have created more problems for us.
Thank you very much. And viewers, you just heard the Gwadar Port Authority Chairman, Mr. Naseer Kashani, and this basically gives us a good insight into what is happening at the port and how soon should we expect things to be rolling out of the free trade zone here next to the Gwadar port. And he's very hopeful that soon more ships will be docking on to the port because the facilitation mechanisms have been completed so far. So we're looking forward to greater trade via ports in Balochistan.